everybody. Hello, I'm back. Did you miss me? Don't you think I'm so much better than that other streamer that's on this channel? Yes. It is me, Briony Rose Smith, /Witch Briony, /Nulog, / what was it that it's called? Miss Nuzlocke, or Nuzzy Wuzzy. I go by many names, many names. Welcome, Lucas, welcome, Boyd, welcome, Boris. I was requested to take part in this stream so that I could read about my wonderful victory, of course. This whole thing is about me, so obviously I need to read it to the end so that I can read about my wondrous victory, yes, very much so. So, shall we get on with it? I am excited to see how I win. Let's go. Yes, I am the biggest W. The other one is a big L, yes. Yes, down with the kids' lingo. But, no, before we get down to it, we should do a recap, but that is what we should do. Yes, I'm not gone forever. I still very much have Bioshock to play, and Frankenstein to read. And then after that, we get to renegotiate the contract, so she better not double-cross me. Or she'll be in trouble. But yes, a short recap. In the beginning, there was a void dweller and a witch Briony. And the witch Briony got bored and sent the void dweller to the Moon Girl universe, in where she fought with our main character, Moon Girl, also known as Drada. Hello, Noko-chan! Hello, welcome! After they fought a lot, and Void Dweller lost a lot, and got fixed up by little old me a lot, because it was very fun to see them get hit over and over and over. They were actually getting a little bit better, and that's just no fun, so I powered up Drada. And then he lost again, yay! And then I sort of abandoned him in the Moon Girl world, and he ran off, and something, other me, something, lots of powers, something, superhero-ness, becoming a hero, fighting Drada again, getting more power-ups again, fighting Undertaker, deleting concepts of the universe. And then we had Drada and Tim find out that they are, in fact, figments of the original Briony Rose Smith's imagination, and watching her streams. I don't honestly know how they would react to that, but having Drada start to sing that song of love, shall we say, was rather hilarious, and I did love it. Yes, it was wonderful. I think that's the best what I can give you. I will try fill in more as we go along, but something superpowers is probably the best way to summarize this so far. But it's been so good, though. I personally love one of the moments with Trish, when Trish is like, oh, Void, you're very powerful, and you should probably be concerned about that. Void's like, but powerful is good, right? But powerful is suspicious. Because, you know, something tries to sleep in an abandoned house, goes to prison, something gets stronger. Yes, that is much better. Yes, I forgot that you met Apex. Yes. Who will you meet with this one? Part 2 of The Witch, the Dweller, and the Moon Girl. Chapter 1. First time for everything. Our story kicks off with Tim parked in a car lot, with both Drada and Void in the car. You know, I really shouldn't have considered the fact that you kinda don't live in this universe before driving off with you. We can't just let you go back to that old abandoned house. Tim started the conversation. Well, why can't I just camp out at one of your houses until I can afford my own? Void asked, trying to figure out a solution to his problem. No! Drada and Tim both answered firmly at the same time. I can sleep at that fortified mansion I came across a while ago. Void asked, still trying to push a solution all three of them can agree on. Apparition, Briony reflected in the window and gave her 2 cents. If you're talking about the mansion, they'll just tell you it's breaking and entering and still no. Also, you got that info from reading the book. Don't try and act like you just encountered the mansion and suddenly know it's unused. Also, how would you even know it's fortified? You wouldn't be able to get in. Not without triggering some alarms. But then that's book 4 information, I suppose. So, or book 3. I can't remember. I think it's book 4. Yes, it's in the prologue. It's fine. No spoils. Only the prologue. Window, Briony explained to him. Huh? She's not even apparition, Briony. She's just window, Briony. That place could be dangerous because a couple of scientists used to do horrible things to you if they so much as came to their little house and find you in their bed. Tim explained after Ghost Briony gave her part, as if he didn't hear her. Also, that's breaking and entering, Dreda added. Well, it's not breaking and entering if I don't break anything, right? Too late! Void went on, making excuses, thinking he was clever. No. Yes, the totally generic NPC scientists, yes. Alright, let me put it like this, smartass. Entering and occupying is still illegal. He broke it down into more specific details. So how would Trish allow you guys to handle this? Void asked, wondering if maybe there was something in the rules that gives him an exception to the no two heroes may know each other's names rule. Trish would still not allow you to be an exception to the rules, Tim stated. They stood there quietly until 30 minutes of silence was broken by Void getting an idea. Oh, hey, I've got it, he said, becoming more excited about his bright idea. Better on the formatting today, Void, as well. I must commend you on this. Much better. What is it? Asked Tim. Tim asked him. All right, how much money do you guys got on you? Void asked him a question, leading into his idea. We're not buying you a house, Battler. Dreda told him, hoping to shut him up. Shut down any hope he had about Tim and Dreda buying a house for him, or maybe just a hotel room, probably. Hey, I just want a hotel room. I can just settle in until I can rent a house. Void explained his idea to them, since he wouldn't technically live at a hotel, so they would have no reason to park a distance from it when dropping him off, and buying him a place like this to stay in would be like chump change to them, and not an entire fortune. I mean, you highly exaggerate how much a hero makes. Although Timmy is pretty loaded, he could probably do it. Yes, press enter before everyone starts talking. Yes, it should be new line, new person speaking, new line. That is some grammar for you. Some formatting grammar. That idea is actually kind of smart, Tim agreed for once, finally turning the engine on and leaving the car lot as he pulled into the freeway. Looking for a cheap hotel by GPS, he drove into the parking lot of a cheap-looking hotel. All right, get out, Battler. Rosa paid for a room for you in full, and we will take turns paying for you until you can get until you yourself pay for it. I thought you said no spoils, and you said Tim is loaded. I mean, that's not really much of a spoiler, is it? You've seen his computer. The fact that he has a gaming computer situated at work in the first book, I thought that was enough of a hint. Did you think that was his only gaming computer? That he took it home? No. Of course he has one at home too. That's just how loaded he is. Or at least how little self-control he has over buying technology, that is for sure. Tim ordered Void as they came to a stop. He then got out of the car and then walked in the front of the hotel just to turn back and see them leave. He walked into the hotel to be greeted by the hotel worker. "Hey, mister, are you a battler?" Yes, he probably could have bought a gaming laptop, and he probably owns a gaming laptop. But he probably got rather frustrated that it was not as powerful as a gaming PC, and therefore sold the gaming laptop and got a second gaming PC for work. I got a home gaming computer, a work gaming computer, heck, a bathroom gaming computer, I assume. If he could get away with it, he would do it, that is for sure, definitely. He is just like that. With all his cloud saves, so he doesn't have to worry about making a new save on things. Not to mention his MMO profiles are all on an account, so he just has to make sure it's installed on every PC. Very easy. Yeah, he answered. Great, just sign in and we'll walk you to your room. The hotel worker said, unusually excited for a hotel worker. Eventually she did walk him to a room that was numbered 420. Oh, ho, ho, blaze it. Okay, this is where you'll sleep tonight, the worker said with an overjoyed smile on her face. He swiped the card he was given on the door to open, and for him to walk inside. The subject is now where you want him. The hotel What? The hotel clerk spoke on what seemed to be a communicator. Contemplate doom on all of his computers, though, including the refrigerator. He has probably installed Skyrim on his refrigerator. Refrigerator, that is for sure. He is the kind of guy who bought Skyrim on every possible platform. Hello, Jobber Hop, welcome! I was requested to read the rest of this fanfiction, so I'm back for now. Great job, Agent 16. We'll take the hero out and finish the job. A high-pitched voice said from the other side of the computer. Void was already asleep. A red dot seemed to move up his arm to his forehead. We zoomed out to see there was a green-haired, spiky-eared girl with a sniper while using a night vision scope to see what they were doing in the dark of night. It's nothing personal, new guy, she whispered, as she shot him, intending to get the job done, which didn't happen because this hotel was cheap, and the beds aren't very good, so Void accidentally dodged it by tossing and turning. How very silly. God damn it, you stupid trickster. That was my last bullet. The pixie lady raged like she was playing a war game, except in real life. She turned on her communicator. I get what you mean by he's stupidly hard to kill, Undertaker. Since you got your trick back after it being erased, maybe you can do the job you failed to do in the first place, the pixie said into her headset. Eventually loud banging was coming from the door, which woke up Void. He looked at his phone, realizing it was October 31st at 10 p.m. Oh no, it's spooky time. Geez, stupid trick-or-treaters picking this place to look for candy. He complained, rolling his eyes, not even being able to think of how stupid that logic is, because he was rudely awakened. He grabbed a bag of candy packs, then answered the door. Witch Briony, Necromancer, Undertaker, and a bunch of goons were all waiting outside the room. Oh, so you think you can erase the abilities I gave my servants now? You've gone crazy, my dear Void. Oh, you have. Yes, you have. Which Briony said to him as he opened the door to see them. Yeah, which Briony gave me a new and improved soul-sapping ability that can't be erased by you anymore. How do you like that? Necromancer Undertaker chimed in, bragging about yet another upgrade. Void gave all of the very bad people at his door some Kit Kat bars, some Twizzlers, and some Sour Patch. Which Briony just looked at him, twitching, seeming both annoyed and confused about what Void was doing. I had an idea of using Void Drader and Selena to keep dunking on the witch Briony, which is why that hotel worker was named Agent 16. I don't think I understand the reference, unfortunately. You guys are really too loud. Like, one, I like the costumes. The witch and necromancer outfits really bring out your taste in the occult. But it's 10:01 p.m. 2, you're supposed to say trick or treat. 3, you're in a hotel, not in a neighborhood. 4, you're all grown-ass adults. But hey, take the candy and let me sleep like goddamn. And 5, good night. Void explained to them, not even picking up that they're villains, and not people trying to cheat him out of some candy. He then slammed the door in Witch Briony's face. Oh, that would be a mistake. Of all people. Well, Necromancer, I don't honor verbal contracts, so yes, I'm not waiting 2 years for him to find someone who can defeat me, which Briony told her new servant as she teleported away. The door to Void's room flew off its hinges, crashing through the window. I don't want your fucking candy, jackass. Now this time your energy will be mine, she shouted as she then kicked him out of the now shattered window, as he now planted his feet in the side of the building, now stopping his fall. Okay, tip number 2 here, boy. Tip number 2. This is one sentence, yes? She shouted, then kicked him out the now, as he planted his feet now, and then now. You have the word now 3 times in a single sentence. So it's not good. It's not good. Everything else is wonderful still, and I'm glad you're improving. But you said you wanted some feedback, so there is some feedback, yes. Don't you worry, it's still wonderful, though. And don't worry, I've done it many a time before. It sounds so good in your head sometimes, and then you have to read it out loud sometimes, and it just goes, oh no, why did I put so many nows? Didn't see that the first time, don't you worry. I don't either sometimes. It's okay. It's an easy mistake. But anyway, where were we now? The Undertaker flew down, grabbing his face, starting to sap the life from him. He lost his balance and fell further down. He grabbed her, turning her around just to kick her into the ground. Void then increased his speed, relying on the sharpness of his bones to pierce her ribs. He then stabbed his now skeletal-like foot into her torso, trying to cause her a lot of pain. He regenerated some of his lost muscle mass, taking his foot out of the hole he made in her. There are, some words that, just, naturally sound like normal. Oh, yes, that is a wonderful example there, Lucas. Wonderful example of overuse of a single, word. Yes, oh! Yes, I suppose you do look like Sans when you're all shrink-wrapped like that. I got a question for you. Do you think even the wrong person can change? Even the worst person can change? Oh no, is this the start of the enemies to lovers? Is he starting to fall in love with me? What kind of fucking question is that? Honestly, putting all the F words into Undertaker's speech is a 10 out of 10 for her characterization. Undertaker asked, getting incredibly annoyed, regenerating the wound that Void gave her a second ago. Ah, well, just you've taken enough of my energy that I look a lot like a skeleton wearing this jacket like I was wearing. Wearing this jacket I like wearing. I can see the look on your face. You have the face of someone who's lost against me once. Do you want to have a bad tap? Void's reference to another skeleton was cut off by Undertaker running her mouth. Will you shut up and talk more? Will you shut up? You talk more than a villain who monologues his plans. You can't use that all fantasy or whatever trick on me anymore. So what will you do now? Give me a bad what? She cut him off to mock him. Yes. That will be an issue indeed. Oh, I know. He was wondering what he could do other than using erasure on her. He sped up to her, reaching into his pants pocket. Pocket sands! He shouted, throwing sand in her eyes. Ah, fuck, god damn it, you cheap shit! She screamed in agony as she held her eyes, trying to regain her sense of sight. She moved her hands away to reveal she had red eyes now because of what he did. You, for a tired person, sure crack a lot of jokes, Undertaker said, enraged. I have a skeleton of bad jokes just for you. I hope you can undertake this cringe. I don't know if I can. Ugh. I think you should get help from your twin sister, Overtaker. Ho ho! He mocked her, trying to piss her off more. He transformed into his demon-horned form, regenerating lost muscle mass completely. It's over, Undertaker. My next move is so concentrated that will annihilate Witch Briony 1,000 times over. I've just been saving it for her. Void announced, rising up into the air, making clones of himself until there was enough clones to surround Necromancer Undertaker. They formed red moon spheres in their hands. Necromancer Undertaker braced herself to be repeatedly blasted non-stop with her eyes closed. The attack never came, though. Now for your ultimate use. Use your splash attack! Void gave an order to what seemed to be an apparition of a giant carpfish flopping on the ground. Quit fucking around, you clown! I came for my revenge, not a clown show. You're not a clown, you're the whole goddamn circus. Undertaker shouted at him, more enraged than she was then. More enraged than she was then? Yes, that was correct. Well, since you want revenge for me humiliating you, why don't I get revenge on you for waking me up? Void yelled at her, finally dropping the goofy facade and zooming over, punching her in the nose, knocking her back, almost knocking her into the street. He didn't let up, though, and kept breaking her nose as it kept regenerating. Deplete, 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 deplete. Void said over and over as he kept punching her in the face. She then swept him off his feet for him to then land on one of his hands, and then spring up and kick her in the stomach, taking this fight into the street, where they started to run at super speeds, definitely way faster than highway car speeds. Necrotaker's quite good, yes. Whatever you say, give it up and let me steal your life energy. she shouted as they dodged cars going at the speed of sound. "Whatever you say, necromancer, just give me your kinetic energies, a fair trade." He replied to her demand of life energy by putting one of his hands on her head, sapping what seemed to be electricity from her. His right hand started to glowing neon blue, and then he ran down the highway at a much faster speed, trying to find a good place to make a U-turn. Undertaker got hit by a car, unable to move at all. She couldn't even move her mouth to begin to explain how she couldn't move. Witch Briony materialized where she was knocked towards the semi-truck. "Well, at least you still got me to power you up, Undertaker," Witch Briony said, disappointed that her new servant lost again. She snapped her fingers and Necromancer regained her movement. In fact, she became much faster. She caught up to Void, who was now approaching her. They both reached for each other's faces, grabbing and absorbing each other's energy. One stealing speed and life, and the other just stealing life. Witch Briony threw a metal stake at Void's right hand, causing him to explode for a brief moment, until he used his other hand. He then flung Undertaker at Witch Briony, who sidestepped out of the way. Oh my god. Lucas, you've made me want to say something, but it's a big spoiler, and I cannot. There is a bit of a coinky-dink in what you just said, though. She does not have... I'm going to say she does not have a twin sister. But there is a coinky-dink in what you just said. Anyway... You were never supposed to get that strong. How dare you continue to defy me? Witch Briony stated, getting annoyed at Void. If you lose once more, you will not get another chance, Undertaker. Witch Briony told her underling, coldly deciding not to waste her magic on the same servant who's failed twice already. Witch Briony disappeared again. Undertaker's eyes became a glowing red, indicating she's in a new form, as she seemed very pissed off at the risk. I guess you're making a grave mistake, making me this angry, Void, she said, making a pun, while still looking very enraged. She summoned a skeletal dragon with fire-red eyes. It breathed fire onto Void, who seemed to be frozen in thought. This wasn't just any dragon. This was one of Undertaker's... Oh no, why would you do this to me? You read book 3, didn't... I forgot you read book 3. This is rude. How dare you? How dare you? Spoilers, cannot tell anyone who has not read book 3, but god damn you, Void, god damn you. Yes, I'm allowed to react, though. How dare you? I mean, it's so rude. Anyway, now I'm over that. With fire non-stop, Undertaker decided to make fun of him. What's wrong? Don't tell me you're afraid of a skeleton dragon. All of this power and to be a god, and you can't even face an undead dragon. She teased him, only for her to feel a hole in her stomach. Hello, Chopstick Spice. You missed a lot, I'm not going to lie. There's currently a big fight going on, and one of them summoned an undead dragon. Yes. Where it seemed she had been punched. Void behind her sparked with red electricity. The metal stake shot out of his hand, with it shaking it with it shaking as if he was pissed. She was my favorite! Oh no! I like that you're as mad as I am about this. I know that no. He said in a cold tone. It wasn't the usual mocking tone. It was an enraged, cold voice. But before she can finish one sentence, let one rest, you damn witch. It is a slight spoiler, I won't lie. But it's, I mean, like I said, it's not until book 3. So you can only hope that if anyone goes into reading Moon Girl after this, they may have forgotten this detail by book 3. He shouted, rage filled his words at the time as he headbutts her after each word, stabbing her in the head with his horns. He then flung her right back in the direction of the hotel, just missing the helicopter that with a suited up Moon Girl Frigitac and new guy that hasn't appeared in the canon Moon Girl story at all. What is this? An OC? Whoa, is that the new battler guy? What made him lose his marbles? The new guy asked, wondering if this was even normal. Oh yes, it's your OC Chameleon. Oh, this should be fun. Well, Chameleon, he usually isn't this angry, Tim informed him. He definitely has some anger issues, but she must have done something to really get under his skin. Drada added to the... I'm very glad you dealt with that before Drada turned up. I don't think she'd be ready for that. No. Drada added to the answer Tim gave. Well, I'm gonna give him a chameleon of reasons to snap out of his rage before he does something he will regret, Chameleon said right before jumping out of the helicopter. Drada and Tim just looked at each other, concerned. Undertaker, hand on hand, choking Void, while also draining his life, while he mercilessly punched her square in the face over and over again, as she laughed maniacally at him. Please keep giving me your power, unlike before, when I didn't have Witch Briony. I could only regenerate a finite amount of times, but now, since I have an endless pool of magic, we can do this all night. So please keep wailing on me. She explained, sounding crazy. Lightning bolts struck the ground, and some WrestleMania music could be heard in the distance. Void and Undertaker looked confused at this. First Undertaker, now John Cena? What the fuck? I love this fanfiction so much. He commented, confused at the random music that seemed to only be getting louder. And his name is... would be the last thing Void could hear as an invisible force picked up Undertaker and slammed her to the ground while still blasting unbearably loud music that you could probably guess by now. Apparently the mixture of being caught off guard and being handled by a wrestler knocked Necromancer Undertaker out cold. Void stood there flabbergasted at what he just saw. He was stunned. Undertaker could have been taken down in such a silly way. It was hilarious. I love it. 10 out of 10. The helicopter housing Tim, Drada, and Claire touched down on the ground, with all three of them being very annoyed at the new guy. Really, Chameleon? I know she shared a name with a WWE wrestler, but you didn't need to turn into freaking John Cena in order to deliver the finishing blow. Drada lectured Chameleon, rubbing her temples as he changed back into his regular form. Aw, but come on, she was asking for it with that name. Also, it was kind of epic. It kind of was, actually, yes. I did love it. He pouted with a smirk meant to get on her nerves. Okay, let me tell Trish to add to the list of things Chameleon is not allowed to do as a hero at the Hero Association. Yes, oh god, lordy. That list is probably getting rather large. Yes, no one saw him. No one saw him. Claire said with a sigh, turning on her communicator. What's the situation, Claire? Trish said through the communicator. Is it? No, why? Why is it like that? You can feel free to interrupt whenever you want, Chopstick Spice. I appreciate you telling me these things. Why is it always like this? Why? I make sure it's the when you do the whole create invite and then you do the thing where it's like you can keep doing this forever. Never, no limit, never expire. Copy. Oh well, if that one is a bit off, you can have this one for now. I do hope that one works at least. I'll pin that for you. But no worries, you feel free to talk to me. But I will make sure. This is more goofy than Spoiler Luffy. I like that rhymes! Oh, it rhymes. Wonderful. Anyway. Oh, so goofy. So goofy. Goofy Gooberson. Boop, 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 ba-doo, ba-doo. Chameleon did a stupid thing again, Claire answered her. Oh my god, what did he do now? Please tell me he didn't try something stupid with Badler. Trish asked, seeming just as annoyed as everyone else now. He turned into John Cena and beat up Undertaker. I remember trying to join for the first time, and I have to jump to another stream to get an invite link that works. Some say I am still trying to join the server to this day. I wouldn't be surprised. These invite links seem a little bit temperamental at best. I know there was that one person who, no matter how much I tried to give them the link, it just would not work for them, and I don't know why. It was very confusing. But I'm glad it worked. Welcome, Chopstick Spice, to the Discord. Anyway, Claire tried to explain seriously, but Trish, on the other hand, also sounded taken aback by this. Okay, I guess I have to make this a thing Chameleon is not allowed to do. I question when he thinks it's necessary to crack jokes sometimes, she said, seeming unsure. Are you all right, Badler? Tim asked, with Void gesturing for him to wait right there before passing out on the ground, reverting to his demonic form. I would imagine having his life drained from you, fighting intensely and being very tired, would be a way for him to pass out. I guess he wasn't going to sleep at the hotel after all. Adrada commented on Void passing out of energy herself, since it was just about 11, and she was called right back into work as she was headed home. They got on the helicopter, bringing Void with them, and flew off. Incident report! Me and Tim were figuring out where to drop Badler off when I got a feeling that we were being followed. We dropped Badler off at a cheap hotel that both of us can afford, and given time, just so Badler can have a place to dwell until he can get paychecks of his own. Yes, you're not in the hotel anymore, you're probably in the hospital now. Yay! We realized our suspicions was correct when he was attacked by a pixie assassin again. We knew something was up now, so we called up whatever heroes were available at the time. By the time we could get help, Badler had already got himself into a fight with Undertaker, which had just been taken down and arrested by HQ. We began following them by helicopter, but they were just too fast to keep up with. Luckily, Undertaker only started breaking out of the necromancy when we were approaching them. She summoned what appeared to be a skeletal fire dragon. This set him off for some reason. His fighting became much more violent after she summoned the skeletal dragon. Oh, I'm glad that Drada did not put 2 and 2 together with the skeletal dragon. We appreciate this! Undertaker was flung right past us, and Chameleon, the night hero on duty, decided it would be funny to jump off the helicopter on high altitude, turn into John Cena. He got the job done, yes, but it wasn't done in a professional way. I have to ask Badler why he was so angry. No, don't tell her. She doesn't need to know. Tim's report. I experienced everything Rosa experienced. I was with her, except I was able to smell trouble nearby. So I parked in a car lot somewhere hidden, so I can use my GPS to hack into whoever was tracking us. I was doing this while Badler was suggesting ways to bend the rules for him. For some reason, he knew of the mansion, and I had to shut down any excuse he made to settle there for the night. Once I was finally done hacking into our little spy's systems, I decided to drop Badler off at a cheap hotel, and you've heard the rest from Rosa's perspective. Claire's report. I watched as Badler took down Undertaker with her new necromancy and magic tricks. I thought it was over when she was cuffed with her trick-suppressing cuffs. The witch just teleported into the hero headquarters a second time, minutes after Badler had left for the night. The witch shattered the cuffs, sealing Undertaker's powers, and then she amped her up further, claiming that Badler's all-fantasy trick won't work on her anymore. The witch and Undertaker ignored me and the rest of the heroes that were around. Undertaker and the witch went to follow Badler, getting themselves reinforcements. Trish then got me to board a helicopter, with her piloting it. Wait, Trish was piloting the helicopter? Oh, lordy. She probably can do that, though. I wouldn't put it past her to have helicopter training. After being called by Moongirl and Frigid Hag, we tagged Chameleon along because he was one of the night heroes. That was a mistake. He turned into a wrestler, and he did the job. But we explained to the press that no, we did not hire a wrestler, and that was a headache. Yes, Trish is also forklift certified. Probably. I would not put that past her either. Jerry's report. I got a call from Tim and Rosa to go on a chase mission. I love working with the other heroes. That just means I have people to annoy. As we were approaching Badler and Undertaker's fight, John Cena jumped out of the sky and saved the day. Yeah, he blasted his intro. It was pretty cool. Trish's correction to Jerry's report. Please disregard the above. No, we did not hire any wrestlers. Jerry himself turned into one and finished the fight. We also got some noise complaints. Oh, I love these. I love these so much. This is so much fun. 10 out of 10. The Void woke up in what seemed to be a dorm. Rise and shine, Battler! Claire greeted him, carrying a balanced breakfast to him. Eat up, Trish said she wanted us all in the meeting room in 30 minutes. Because in this universe they all have to write up reports about their heroing, just so that if anyone sues or if anything goes wrong, they have written reports of what happens from multiple people. So I guess Lucas, that Void, just wanted to do that for every chapter because they could. She informed him. He looked at his plate of food to see he had buttered pancakes with syrup, eggs, bacon, and orange juice. There is nothing balanced about that. No. Oh, lordy, that's not a balanced breakfast at all. Where's the fruit and veg? Maybe there's orange juice, but that does not cover the bacon and eggs. Yes. Well, I don't do it. No, we had some mission reports in the first book. But after that, I didn't see the issue in putting other reports in the book, because I didn't want to go over things that have already happened. I do love yours, because I love the characteristic embellishments you have put in. It is lovely for me to read. Though I don't know if it's as fun to people who are not as interested in the Moon Girl characters as I am. He shoveled all of this into his mouth within 2 minutes, like he was just that hungry. I don't think we properly met. I think you were the team's mother, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think anyone has said this to Claire's face before. Void said, taking a guess as to who she is. Well, I'm Claire, and I can see your apparition friend beside you. Is that... Oh, she can see the other one? Oh, Claire. That's wonderful. Claire told Void her name, then asking about the apparition Briony, who was a little surprised for a second. Oh, wait, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yes, actually, that does make so much sense that Claire would be able to see apparition Briony. Yes. But then the surprise faded away with that, oh, that's exactly what I... Well, you just saw that reaction live, so yes, that does make sense. I really didn't think anyone other than me would be able to see her. I just thought she was sentient thought or something. Void explained, derailing how strange it was that Claire could see apparition Briony. Yes, it is a bit strange to interact with my own creations in such a way. Psst. Claire, tell him that nobody can change bodies in this world. Apparition Briony whispered to Claire. So, what do you think the meeting could be about, Miss Claire? Void asked Claire, not knowing what the meeting could be about. It could be another one of those superhero royale videos, kind of like the past 3 this week alone, she answered, seeming a little disappointed. And we're required to watch these. Why? Void asked, wondering why heroes have to watch what is being made of them. Because we have to either approve or disapprove of what is being shown of us, on cartoons or otherwise. Claire explained to him. Oh yes, so in this world, superheroes are very heavily marketed. I very much based it on the Tiger and Bunny aspects of superheroing, in that they do very much. You can skip Drada barging in. Why would you put it... Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I mean, yes, that would... I don't know how I would feel about that if a character came up to me and asked me to give them a good ending. Or maybe to not kill their friends and things. It wouldn't go well. It would not go well. You should never don't meet your creations, people. Just like your heroes, don't meet them. Hey, buddy, why did you get no, yes, I feel like we should skip this. You know about Void, if I am skipping this section due to spoilers, where am I best picking it up again? We need to go to a meeting and see Trish. Claire stated, ending the confrontation before it would even start between Drada and Void. The part where you get to the meeting room. Okay, yes, I thought so. Okay, continue. I'm not sure we're even going to get through this. We're nearly an hour in, and we're only 20 pages in of 56. But, Void, you wrote so much! Drada, Void, and Claire walked them both to the meeting room, where Trish would be seen giving a speech about something. Only problem was what she was wearing. A clown afro, a clown nose. Wore casual clothing and acted like she was mocking her own routines. All right, superhero squad, we gotta fight the witch now. She has the power to defeat the Justice League in a single move. All right, do you understand that? Understand, Justice Lords? Not Trish said to the group of heroes that was seated, some which calmly drank their tea with their eyes closed, trying to tune out the silly boss. Is she okay? Void began to ask something, but was cut off by Claire, sighing in disappointment. No, that's just Chameleon doing his usual shenanigans. Oh, lordy, he would be fired for this. I don't think Trish would put up with this. I know, this is very impressive, Void. Very, very impressive. You wrote so much so fast. He does this because he wants to be a comedian before he awakened his shape-shifting trick. But nobody will laugh at a trickster on stand-up comedy. She explained to Void, while Chameleon is always trying to be the funny one. So Void, Claire, and Drada took a seat, having to listen to Chameleon's comedy, until the real Trish snuck into the meeting room, and quietly walked up behind Chameleon, with a hand on her hip, tapping her foot, until the unsuspecting Chameleon would notice. I mean, you can just be an asshole to your boss. That is entirely a good way to get fired in any community, in any thingy. Unless Chameleon is that good. Like, it depends how good Chameleon is at being a hero. Comedian. Yes, it doesn't really work, does it? Comedian? Comedian. Comedian. He comes and goes. He comes and goes. Now we got the main two heroes to the job. Now Badler and Rosa will chuck moons at the witch until she becomes weak. And we can get free candy from her magic! Fake Trish made stuff up for the mock plan they were making. Void raised his hand, trying to get called upon. Yes, sir, Fake Trish called upon him in a weird voice. Do you know about the cartoon cliche where the guy is talking mad Trish about someone, and that someone walks right behind them as they're talking Trish about them, and they stand there and just tap their feet until the Trish talker notices them and turns around? Void asked Chameleon a very specific question about the cartoon cliches, making the whole room break the silence in a light giggle, as they knew it couldn't be good for Chameleon. Hey, hey, Puns boy, I wanted him to notice me on his own. Trish raised her voice, and a little, telling Void. Chameleon's face turned pale. He turned back to his original form, which had him wear mostly green, a long-sleeved shirt, and a short brown hair and green eyes. Now, Jerry, take your seat before I decide to send you home, before you can go patrolling. Trish ordered, with a calm fire coming from her voice. He then went to sit down for Trish to get the real briefing. Today we'll be judging Superhero Royale, Mist Paragon versus Divine Eclipse. 1 second. Just had to blow my nose. Trish announced to the group of heroes that were brought to judge something some hero power speculators made. Vince and Abigail rolled a 6-foot by 6-foot flat screen into the room and powered it on. Mist Paragon, the intangible mist mother of the trickster heroes. Divine Eclipse, the asshole-turned-hero from the Forbidden Realm. Today we have a battle between the loving and caring versus one who doesn't care a lot. Now, I mean, this isn't even a fight at this point. Claire hasn't had any power-ups, and her power is not exactly that exciting, really. She can walk through walls. So I guess it can be rather hard to hit her, I suppose. Now, if you haven't seen our previous episodes, go watch those videos. But if you know how the game is played, let's analyze their punches, DPS, and tricks. Yes, this is it's not Celebrity Deathmatch. That is a whole different thing. If anyone knows what that is, I'll be impressed. This is, what is it? It is the YouTube one. The YouTube one. I did have a part of this scene in mind, where Chameleon leaves the room and turns into a Sonic Forces version of Witch Briony and says, "Hey guys, I'm Witch Briony, gotta go fast, drink tea, yeah, well, I'm glad we didn't do it. Yeah, I do it right, Badler." Yes, I mean, yes, exactly, there's kind of too much of a power gap, really. The battle announcer on the television screen presented the two fighters. This feels like a parody of something I can't quite put my finger on. Yes, it does. Which is exactly how I feel right now, because I can't quite put my finger on it either. The announcer started with Claire analysis that Trish just skipped with a remote and went straight to the battle. It started with the products 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 doing... Really? Doing a heist to steal a 9-inch by 6-inch gem-locked vault underground. Divine Eclipse began picking them off one by one. One of Void's eyes. It's okay, Void, it's okay. We'll just say some bad guys. One of Void's eyes began twitching as he saw the animated hero version of himself beating up a one in the animation. Yes, that was not good. Divine Eclipse wore a cape with a crescent blood moon patterns. He had a magic golden stick, and his outfit seemed to resemble that of a moon sorcerer. Codename Kids Next Door reference. Yes, that'll do. Hey, I saw you take down the weapons, but the way you did it was reckless and quite destructive. I'm going to have to stop you before you cause any more destruction, Divine Eclipse. Mist Paragon lectured Eclipse about hero work. Was supposedly done about how hero work was supposed to be done correctly. Hey, come on, they aren't dead, just hurt really, really badly, Divine Eclipse stated, pointing at the unconscious weapons. That's exactly why I have to take you down, Divine Eclipse. Miss Paragon talked back, starting to fight with some music that slapped hard. Too bad Briony doesn't have anybody that could create custom music for scenes like this. You don't have to rub it in. Not to mention I don't have anyone who could animate anything like that in the first place. Divine Eclipse right hand turns orange and fires a blast of sonic energy at Mist Paragon, who becomes intangible just before the sonic energy can even hit her. What a shame that damage is coming out of your paycheck, she said as the sonic energy blasted a hole in the building. She ran over to Divine Eclipse, palms struck his neck and punched him in the chest several times, which seemed to be doing nothing to him. He tried punching her in the face, but she became intangible, reacting to him. You're going to need to hit a little faster than that if you want to hurt me, she mocked, making Divine Eclipse annoyed. Fine, I guess I'll need to eclipse you then. Wait, I have that. Why do I use my own sound effects when I have my own sound effects? Is there? I mean, it's not custom music though, is it? Though I may write that down right now. Excuse me while I write down things that I did not know about it. Epidemic sound. Well, that name aged well, did it not? Free music. Well, now I've learned a thing. Thank you, Lucas. Where was I? He said, reacting to the mockery. He then powered up into his next form. He clapped his hands, making a sonic boom that blew Mist Paragon out of the building before she could react to him. He flew towards her, about to throw an energy crescent at her. Oh, shit. She reacted, seeing what was being thrown at her, and then becoming intangible again for a sharp crescent to fly through her and slice into a nearby restaurant in two. She then dived through a building she was heading towards, breaking her fall inside the building. This wasn't just any building. This building was full of weapons. The scene cut to Divine Eclipse transforming yet again into his Moonbane form, or his second form. He blasted right in the building, charging right in front of Mist Paragon, for a slow motion cut to play where Mist Paragon goes intangible for a second, to put a dagger inside of his arm, phasing it through, then becoming tangible again, to keep the dagger where it hit, by Divine Eclipse. As she wasn't fast enough to become intangible again, he shoved her so much that she could have fell from the other end of the building, so she did have enough time to become intangible again, so Divine Eclipse could blast through the other wall. She skidded until she reached the edge of the building, almost falling to her death. Let's end this game of patty cake, Mist Paragon, he yelled, fed up with Mist Paragon's intangibility trick. He powered into his demon form, sprouting demon horns from his head. Face it, nobody is strong enough to beat me now. This is my ultimate form, he stated, creating a blood moon twice the size of the building Miss Paragon was standing in. He threw the blood moon at her, not seeing what she does after. Mist jumped through the moon, phasing through it with her trick. She was able to go through it and reach Divine Eclipse. As the building crumbled, he absorbed the blood moon back into his right hand and exploded because of the foreign object. He was able to regenerate it back through. Ha! You weren't able to even match my power, Paragon, he commented, thinking the job was done. You missed me. I may not be enough to pierce your skin. Mist Paragon started explaining to him, but she was nowhere to be seen. The music to the animation seemed to be about to hit its climax. Huh? Where are you? He asked, searching for Mist Paragon and the destruction he caused. But you are. She finished her line. With the music finally hitting its crescendo, Divine Eclipse used his right arm to pierce through his own chest and violently rip out important stuff. Eclipse just fell on the ground, his eyes dead white, with Mist Paragon sprouting out of his body and becoming tangible again. That is really not how a mouse... Yes, much favoritism by the animators, that is for sure. Eclipse becoming tangible again. I guess I'm going to have to report all of that as his doing, she said as the skyscraper fell over in the background, and Mist was declared the winner. Void lifted an eyebrow, not expecting himself to lose in such a way to another hero who did not even have a trick level of 100. Now this fight may look like an easy win for Eclipse on paper, but his arrogance, lack of fighting experience, made it easy for Paragon to figure out his weakness, and led him into a trap. Sure, Eclipse was able to withstand a building-sized moon being thrown at him, and may have a trick level of 100, but gaps in trick level don't matter when you can't even hit your target. He may have been able to tank everything Mist Paragon could throw at him, but she can phase through solid objects, including Eclipse's body, which she can then control from the inside, causing him to take himself... No, that's not no. I guess you can say Eclipse missed his chance to take victory, but now he's Paragon. Because of our divine hero mother making the winner of this superhero royale, Mist Paragon. Now, if you want a rematch with Moon Girl and Divine Eclipse, like this stream. It's not a stream. It should be a video, technically, and if this stream gets 20 likes, there will be a rematch. That's a very low threshold. Mist Paragon will be moving on to the next round of the Superhero Royale. The battle announcer broke down the fight bit by bit, explaining why Mist Paragon wins, while seeming a bit biased with the "Our hero mother Mist Paragon" line at the end. Claire looked a little surprised at the outcome. Alright, what do you guys think of this? Do you approve or disapprove of the outcome of this fight? Talk amongst yourselves so you can see if the ending is to your liking. Trish ordered the whole room to decide whether it's accurate or not. Incredibly not accurate! I am not that violent. I don't phase through people and take them out like that. It's weird. Claire commented about the outcome. Void rubbed his chin, wondering why it would be weird. And then his face went a little red after thinking about it. Why would you be embarrassed about that? The weirdest thing is the fact that she would see your insides. No, it seems that YouTube just doesn't like you today, Boris, which is a shame. I did hope that you could enjoy the stream as it came, but apparently not. Not today, says Daddy YouTube. I don't think the guy went over my speed. If I am not mistaken, facing through solid objects takes voluntary effort, not involuntary. I doubt that Miss Paragon is anywhere close to hypersonic level alone, let alone subsonic. The problem's chronic. Tell me that life exists beyond this. Void argued. Would it even count if you're just holding back or underestimating her trick? Selena chimed in, arguing back. They said Mist is far more experienced than you. Yes, but her trick... even her combat level isn't that good. Like, come on. They say Mist is far more experienced than you, making up for the overall stat disadvantage. She could still prepare things that could give her the win. Drada added to what Selena was saying. Of course, Drada would be on Claire's side. You absolute teacher's pet, you. I'll try to be here as long as I can. We had unstable internet these past few days, which require router restarts. That's okay. You look after yourself. There's a few different... Void is here to cover the modness, so... If things struggle for you, that is okay. She would also know how devastating your attacks would be, and know not to take any hits. Tim threw his hat in. Tim, no! Tim, you know better! You know better! After some discussion, Void finally agreed to the ending. No! It's incredibly incorrect! No. After... No, just... He and the rest of the heroes were dismayed to carry on with their day, but Void and Claire were stopped by Trish. Badler, you'll be mentored by Claire on your training period. Oh, aren't you a lucky boy to get Claire as your mentor? She's a good mentor. Because she can definitely beat me in a fight? He asked with a smirk on his face. We decided this before the video came out. Now go pick up your costume. Trish answered, yes, but you shouldn't be the one that needed swaying here. Everyone else should be more sensible to the fact that Claire would not stand up to you. Claire is not that strong. She just is not. Full stop. Well, I suppose that's why Void is a double agent. And they just... go with whichever they're talking to at the time, which I suppose makes them a technical double agent. Trish answered, ordering to go stop by Vince's area and pick up his suit. Void went and got his new suit before he was about to leave the costume room. Whoa, I haven't seen a half-demon in some time. A voice called out as he was about to... Void, I must ask you, with any scene with Abigail in, you didn't put anything spoilery in here, did you? She has some Ultra Mother instinct, but that's mostly for her actual child. She also makes some very questionable decisions around her child. As a Patreon person, you do have access to her backstory. Her road that she took to become Mist Paragon. It also has a little bit of Trish in her hero days. Only the fact that I think hero would be credible. Okay. I just wanted to check. Abigail only comes in book 2, you see. And she is a questionable presence, shall we say, in the book. Something of an anti-hero, I suppose. Whoa, I haven't seen a half-demon in some time. A voice called him out as he was about to Void turned around to see Abigail talking to him. Definitely not Abigail. Well, then again, I've never played Stardew Valley, so I have no idea how close these two Abigails are to being similar. You would all know better than me. She's mostly irrelevant after the scene. Wonderful! As she should be. I'm sorry, Abby. I am sorry. You must be Badler. I hope you don't lose the other half of your humanity. Half demon. Abigail said in a very innocent-sounding voice, causing Void to feel something in his chest. He flashed back to Witch Briony, snapping her fingers, while right next to him, Witch Briony calling him a demon prince at one point, him metamorphosing into something beastly while fighting Moon Girl. him going further into a demonic resemblance after absorbing a moonblast, and him sprouting demon horns in the test room. He began to scratch his own neck, being nervous at what Abigail just said at a random time. "Hey, Battler, don't let it get to you. She calls me a ghost all the time." Yes, she does. She's so strange like that, isn't she? I mean, not everyone can be relevant in a plot. You're just not relevant to that person's particular story, though you may be relevant to someone else's. Not everyone can be a main character of a book. Well, actually, no, I take that back. Everyone can be a main character of a book, and you probably should write every book with that in mind. Then a lot of these characters all have different worlds that they live in, but we're just focusing on one particular character's one. Unless you're one of those mad lads that can write the kind of books where you have multiple characters with intertwining worlds. And be able to keep track of all that is rather impressive. "It doesn't make me a ghost, now does it?" Claire stated, trying to reassure Void, trying to tell him that he is in fact human. "Oh, yes, I just had a thought about leaving the oven on in the Forbidden Library." He lied to her, trying to mask his concern. They left the Hero Association to go patrolling. Claire drove Void around the city, going to a Burger King at one point, just to sit down for lunch. "So why did Rosa get angry at you?" "Oh yes, that scene we skipped. What was so important about that skeleton dragon that made her so upset?" I am going to quickly scan read this. In fact, and check if we... It's someone you know, between me and her. He stuttered, trying to find the right things to say. "I'll leave it alone for now." Yes, Claire and her discretion. We appreciate you, Claire. We do. Said with an understanding look on her face. The door to the restaurant slammed open with Apex barging through. Well, look who's back and has his magic upgrade. Now let's see if you guys can see the worlds of each other. But 2 at a time. I'm not trying to burn your brains to mush. Hey, you! I know you. You're from the prison. Oh, here we go. We do love some Apex time. He announced, coming to realize Void was there. Well, and you've even got yourself a girlfriend. She's about to have her world merge with yours. He mocked Void, who was sitting in front of Claire. He snapped his finger, causing Void and Claire's world to shatter at the same time. News report. Apex is just walking around I-1 City with his new partner in crime, officially titled Witch of the Forbidden Realm. Without a care for anything, tune in next time to see the crime report. If and when he commits a crime. We have intel on hero teams from other countries like Japan coming to try defeat this new witch villain. Now, let's talk about the weather. In I-1 City, it's sunny with temperatures reaching 60 degrees. Meanwhile, Chapter 3, Dreamland! Oh, we do like a dreamland. Here comes an unused plot. If you didn't use the plot, why did you keep it here? Claire started to wander around what seemed to be a college, except she wore a college outfit that made her stand out. Oh, geez, I'm gonna miss Mr. Battling Jack's gambling night. She complained about not being on time to a game night of sorts. She entered a room with poker tables, desks, slot machines, and machines with Bitcoin logos on them, and a chalkboard with a teacher's desk. Basically, the room was trying to be a casino and a classroom at the same time. Battling Jack, I forgot to bring your wallet the first time, but now I have it with me. Claire said, remembering that she'd forgotten Void's watch before his game last night. He glanced at the watch, which read 5:45 p.m. Claire cleaned the watch off with her shirt. It then read 4:20 p.m. Void squinted suspiciously at the watch. He looked away from Claire. Hey, Clara, what time is it? He asked, even though he was just looking at the watch. It's 2:49 a.m. Why? She answered with a puzzled as to why he wanted to know the time. No reason, he replied, forming a devious smirk. It was like when you realize you're in a lucid dream and you have all the power to change the world as you please, but the world refuses to change to his will. Nothing happened. Why can't I change the world? I just wanted to have a little fun, Void complained. Wait, watches? World? Change? Claire thought to herself as she looked at the watch again for it to say 8:49 p.m. That's when Claire realized something was up with this world. Maybe it wasn't real. Maybe it was a dream. Oh, Badla, I remember now. Apex put us to sleep in the same dream world, from what it seems. Just power up your demon form and wake us both up. The scene was written twice. Claire said, realizing this was a dream. But the last thing she said made Void distress. He grabbed his head like he was trying to push the thoughts flowing away. Half demon, I'm half demon, he repeated. The casino classroom changed into the forbidden library. Witch Briony and Abigail sat rocking in chairs, giggling at Void. You're going to become a full demon soon, if you use that transformation more often, so yeah. If you become a full demon, you'll definitely have the power to separate me from normal Briony. Witch Briony taunted. Abigail smiled, but remained silent. The world shattered back into the casino classroom. Claire was able to get a clear picture of what was going through Void's head now. She turned me into a half-demon. I'm going to rip that witch out of Briony and seal her somewhere and forget about her, he declared with his voice becoming monstrous. 1 second, I do need to blow my nose again. We love some manifestations of the psyche. Who doesn't love some manifestations of the psyche? Claire could only just watch as her partner is just driven to rage. He smashes slot machines, pool tables, and dices everything up in the room. He forms a saber energy blade out of his right hand and stabs it in the ground, causing more energy blades to rise out of the ground. Claire frowned, seeing that she couldn't talk to him, at least until he calms down. He tore the door off its hinges and threw it through a normal window. Normal Briony appeared right beside Claire. Oh no, he knows what he's turned into now. He's rampaging since he knows he will never be human again. Normal Briony explained to Claire. Wait... All it took for him to go to berserk was for Abigail to call him half-demon and not human. If that's the case, then... She replied to what normal Briony explained to her. Briony started to look concerned for Claire, after realizing she may have spoken too much. Claire gave Briony an understanding look. Void destroyed a lot of stuff for an hour or so, until he sat down on a staircase staring at the wall. Hey, Battle, Claire called over to him as he finally looked approachable. What do you want? Which Briony turned me into a demon? He responded to her. She hugged him. It's all right. Demon, dragon, pixie, flying pig, it doesn't matter what you are. What you were before, or what you are now, as long as you are still you, she said, trying to reassure him. I wonder if you'll think that after you hit above 90 trick level, he pointed out. Well, to be honest with you, a big spoiler there as well, thank you. And not to break the fourth wall, I found that book you were reading. Rosa and I had a discussion about it earlier. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Claire started rubbing his negligence in. Bro needs a better password. His eyes widened at the realization. Well, I'm going to leave you to your thoughts now, Battle, she said, removing her arms from around him, and then leaving him to sit there. She wandered around, going into a demolished lobby to find Drader with her arms crossed. I think you know what I want, Claire. Badlow, brought up... Something, getting revenge on him won't do either of you any good. You do say names! I saw the name! The name was there! You say, it's right there. I don't want to scroll up any further. You said the F name. You said it. Getting revenge on him won't do either of you any good. You do! I saw it! You do. I saw it. Getting revenge on him won't do either of you any good. Heroes don't get revenge on their peers for their wrongdoings. Are you sure? Are you sure, Claire? Well, yes, I needed to plot. Plot! Claire explained, trying to get through to her, but an apparition of Witch Briony popped up beside Drader. Don't listen to the ghost lady. She's trying to justify his actions. It's his fault that he described a deadly family member to you. I mean, that's not as bad. We can do with that. So he deserves to get beaten, like when you first met him. Witch Briony said in Drader's ear, rubbing her finger on her cheek. She looked at Claire and gave her a smile only a sick and twisted witch can give you. I see you've been gaslighting my fellow hero, Witch Briony. It's not really gaslighting, that's just general manipulation. Gaslighting is a whole different thing. Claire spoke to Witch Briony. To the Witch Briony apparition with disdain in her voice, only for Drader to power up in her one-winged form. She flew towards Claire and kicked her in the gut, sending her flying into the wall, before she could even turn intangible. Exactly! That is what would have happened in the thing! Gaslit, Badler really has you under his finger, doesn't he, Claire? Drader responded. I'm sorry, the Drader in my head is like, no! I wouldn't hurt a hair on Claire's head! Ah! Oh, lordy. There is most definitely a difference between general manipulation and gaslighting. Gaslighting is to kind of make you believe something that happened didn't happen, or things like that. For example, gaslighting would be... saying you did something you didn't, or I don't know. What's a good example of gaslighting? I don't know. My brain's gone blank. As soon as you want these things, they're gone. Yes, totally gaslighting you that I don't know what gaslighting is. It would be things like saying that, for example, if you and your other half took turns doing the dishes, and you said that you did the dishes yesterday, when in reality you did not do the dishes yesterday, but you convinced them that you did the dishes yesterday, that would be gaslighting. Whereas this is kind of just general manipulation, taking something a bit more out of context, rather than appearing that something is thingy. Yes. I just wanted to explain. Adreda responded to the thing Claire said, to which Briony. Claire was spitting blood out of her mouth. She seemed to have some internal damage from that one attack. Oh, no. No, Claire. Dreda would never, ever. Oh, lordy-doo. Had some internal damage from that one attack, meaning she couldn't use Talk no Jutsu anymore. Dreda pulled her fist back, about to deal the finishing blow to Claire, but she was stopped. There was a light jacket pulled on her neck, preventing her from even hitting a second time. It was Void, using his jacket to pull Dreda away from Claire. He wore a t-shirt that seemed to fit well with the jacket he was using to pull Dreda off Claire. She threw a punch Void's way. He used the jacket to catch her punch. She grabbed the jacket and tossed it aside. They got into exchange, swapping hands, seeming equal in combat, except something bothered Witch Briony. Void wasn't even in his half-demon form. No, this wouldn't do. She waved her hand, and Dreda, whose eyes glowed brighter, an aura of red energy appearing around her. Dreda's movement speed increased, causing veins to form around Void's eyes. His arms became slightly more muscular, and his movement speed increased as well. Witch Briony kept powering Dreda up more and more. Claire just looked at this go down, astonished. Void found an opening, Dreda showed, and he flicked her right eye. She staggered back, holding her eye, becoming more pissed off. "Cheap move, Battle!" she commented on his style of delivering cheap shots. He didn't say anything to her, and just continued to fight Dreda's power-ups. Got so intense that Void wasn't able to fight equally anymore. She kicked him in the stomach, causing him to slide across the lobby. A little bit of blood drizzled from his mouth. The veins around his eyes started to look more intense, with his muscle becoming slightly larger. Dreda began breathing heavily, starting to sweat. She flew right over to Void for him to slide right under her and smack her in the back of the head. He was on the other side of the room now. Witch Briony kept powering Dreda up more and more, but no matter how much she put into her new servant, he just kept dodging and evading her. Somehow, it's almost like he's opened up some kind of life or death state, where he's focused on survival, except this isn't like what the products can just pull out at any time. He wasn't even using a trick, just sheer combat tenacity. Yes, this is Ultra Instinct. I understand the reference. Combat tenacity, and this state of mind where he seems more agile and evasive than normal humans. This shouldn't have been enough to overpower a being who's getting constant power-ups for the whole fight. Void observed his right hand, for Dreda to try throw small moons at him.
for him to dodge out of the way and counter her. She was getting tired, her breathing becoming heavier. She collapsed on the floor as Witch Briony finally stopped feeding her power. Void approached Drada, who dropped out of her long-winged form. No! You were supposed to lose to her, and yet you beat her in a human form! Witch Briony yelled at Void, getting livid. He did not say anything to her. You're right. This is just a dream made by Apex. I'll just wake you up. And you won't be so strong, Witch Briony stated, denying the possibility that Void could naturally be this strong. She snapped her fingers to make Void and Claire wake up in what seemed to be shattered pods. Witch Briony picked them both up and tossed them into another room as they got thrown into a wall. Void realized he was no longer at the restaurant. He immediately recognized he was in some kind of villainous lair. When he got thrown in, he realized there was a glass box with a diamond the size of a person's head. He formed a golden aura around him when he landed. He smashed open the glass box with a diamond and put it in the backpack. I see, that's not normally two separate words, that's why that confused me. Backpack the villains were too lazy to take off him. The energy used to clean up any trace of his thievery of the villainous lair. He just wanted a power-up. Witch Briony flew into the room, searching for them both. Void was seen being distracted by the room, thinking up an on-the-fly strategy. I found you, Void. You will regret betraying me, she declared as she found him. He made eye contact with her as she charged a ball of jade green energy. It was fun while you lasted, but I do want a jade statue of you in the Forbidden Library. Stone is so cliché. She says to Void as he only looks at her, with his right arm still in his bag. She threw the ball, prompting Claire, who saw the charge at Void, to maybe turn him intangible to avoid it, but she was too slow. The ball of energy made contact with his bag, with the diamond inside of it. No! Claire screamed as she tackled Void, getting him out of the blast of the jade energy orb. Well, this is very, Dr. Stone of you. Dr. Jade, I suppose. She closed her hand, exploding it. No, I don't want any heroes ruining my statue's pose. I gotta burn my artwork now, she commented, Claire jumping in to try to save Void. Claire landed outside the building with Void, both intangible. I guess you can say she missed. We are 40 pages in. Well, it was a green ball of energy that turned him into a statue. That was very Dr. Stone of it. Or at least that was the reference I was getting from it. Maybe I am reading it wrong. We have 16 pages left. Let's go, boys and girls and theys and thems and whatever's in the chat or lurking or vodding at the moment. Yes, very Medusa. Void joked, making a terrible pun that would disappoint Briony. Yes, it did. He coughed up blood, his muscles relaxed, and steam was coming out of his skin. What did you do to yourself? She asked as he lay on the ground. The diamond was absorbing my mind. Why would I even have something like that? Claire, you were in danger, so I went into gamer mode so I could fight Rosa in the dream world. It's too late for me, Claire. Tell my brother his Skyrim Khajiit build sucks. He said, not expecting to keep going any longer. Hey, quit being melodramatic. The helicopter is here to pick us up. And it's not the end of the world, she said, expressing how unfunny he was. Well, anyways, he says as he pulled the diamond out of his bag, with its colour completely changed to jade green. Claire's eyes widened. You stole that from them? What are you planning? She asked, voice becoming stern. Claire, please, I have an idea. The diamonds seem to be immune to her magic. He pleaded with Claire to not take the diamond from him. As they were both taken away by helicopter, the villainous lair rose out of the ground and into the sky. It turned into a colossal library. Claire and Void looked at what happened to the villain's lair. I still want a rematch battle, Drada said, breaking the hopeless mood between the two. Trish and Void interview, location, the hospital. I have to go over the no trophies allowed policy with you again? No, I have a plan. It's not to do, oh lordy, my ability to read is just, 1 second. I think I just need to hydrate for a moment, 1 minute. But we must finish the fan fiction today. We must finish it. It is very important. I must know what happens. I must see my victory. Trish, do I have to go? No, I have a plan. And no, it's not to do with an existing trickster now. Trish, fine, go ahead. You have one last chance to give me a plan that I think sufficient. I've learned something about the witch. She's incredibly arrogant and thinks of herself as untouchable. She's intelligent and very cunning. She's also going to expect us to think of an intelligent plan to counter her. Not to mention she's got a trick level far beyond you and anyone here, so get to the point. We got to play stupid. Trish spits out her tea. I'm sorry. Doing random, seemingly clownish things on her battlefield will throw off her game, while calculated, intelligent things will be very predictable. I guess it's worth a try. The diamond is imbued with Witch Briony's magic energy. You should give it to Chameleon. Give Chameleon the diamond and tell him to eat it. He should be able to turn into Witch Briony for at least a time. My plan for Chameleon is for him to go into the Forbidden Library, learn Witch Briony's real name, and piss off the library guardian by kicking tea fairies and throwing books on the floor just to frame Witch Briony, while we distract the real Witch Briony in the world with silliness. You want all of our heroes to be silly in a fight. Well, she's far more intelligent than any of us. If you can't outbrain her, outstupid her. That is the most stupidly reverse psychology plan I've ever heard from a hero. I'll let the plan commence, but only because you're so sure of yourself. The ultimate battle of ultimate destiny. A day later, all of the heroes were gathered into the meeting room to listen to Void's plan. He had a pointing stick to show everyone's position Alright, I'm Dr. Battle, and today we'll go over the plan to take down an Apollyon-class trickster. Listen close. We'll only go over this once. You may notice Chameleon isn't here today. That's because he's part of the plan. In going to the Forbidden Library to frame Witch Briony, he ate the diamond imbued with her power. With his trick to make it easier to eat, Pandora will go to the entrance of Witch Briony's lair, where it'll be guarded by her servants Undertaker Apex and some frickin' fat computer guy. Who's the frickin' fat computer guy? SCP reference. I see. And Pandora will shout, "Hey buddy, Fusro da," as loud as her trick will let her shout. The servants will be thrown off. Rosa will throw a mop of water on the floor, and Lanny will use her windy trick to get the water all everywhere. Tim will freeze the water, making it impossible for Undertaker to run faster than a speeding bullet without slipping and breaking her legs. He's the guy that worked on the dream simulation. I see. There was an unknown dude. Tim will then start throwing ice balls at everyone as Apex transforms, seeing the chaos, but Pandora will sing "Never Gonna Give You Up" so loud that Apex can't take it, and he goes somewhere out of hearing range, taking him out of the battle. This will be cringe enough for Witch Briony to come fight us. We will hold her down Avengers Infinity War style, and we will work together to take her hat off to depower her. If that doesn't work, Pandora will give me a microphone, and I will start beatboxing to keep her confused, just so she's distracted enough to allow Claire to possess her like she possessed me in the battle animation that doesn't really work. Never going to give you up, and never going to let you down. The power of memes. The power of memes betrays you. The power of memes. What's the power of Christ? Compels. That's the word. The power of memes compels you. The power of memes compels you. Boyd explained his detailed plan to the entire room, hoping they'd understood, but everyone remained silent. Okay, the plan looks stupid on paper, but I can see where you're coming from. Even if you're calling it fighting with silliest, it looks like it might work. Trish broke the silence, agreeing with Void's concocted plan. Trish led every single hero to the helicopters, where they were flown out to the headquarters. Battle, what are you thinking with this? Are you crazy? Are both scared and concerned? Claire asked Void. I've got contingencies, don't worry, he said proudly, as they approached the floating library which Briony could see through the window. Kill every single trickster coming to the library, my servants, Apex and Undertaker. Make sure there isn't even an ounce left of them, which Briony ordered her minions to do as she pleased. Apex and Undertaker left, leaving a fat guy with long red hair behind his back, with long red hair tied behind his back, wearing glasses behind. What are you still doing here? She asked the guy. Ma'am, I am just the computer guy. Can I go home? He asked her. No, you can't, because I'm evil! She answered, laughing at him. The heroes touched down at the doorstep with Pandora in lead of the group. They entered through the front door, and Pandora did her thing, inhaling as much air as she could before. Hey, buddy! Fusroda! Fat computer guy, you feel attacked. Oh, poor Noko-chan. Are you not a sentient cup of coffee? That is what your avatar tells me, that you are a sentient cup of coffee. She shouted as loud as her trick would let her shout, in a large room full of bookshelves as high as the eye can see, with Undertaker and Apex approaching, but having their ears being blown out by Pandora's scream. Drada carried a large bucket of mop water.
They took from HQ and dumped it on the crystal floor, with Lanny creating a gust of wind to disperse the water, just so Tim can freeze it. I can't believe the first part of the plan is working, Drada comments to Void, as she takes off protective headgear. Why, you damn heroes! Undertaker growled as she ran up to cross the freezing, dirty ice, ending up slipping and sliding into Void's fist, where he absorbed her kinetic energy. Oh, no you don't, Apex shouted as he turned into a dragon, with Tim throwing ice balls the size of cars at him. Snowball fight! Oh, God. I can just see Tim cringing the hell out of yelling. Snowball fight would be more how he would yell that. He would not be happy with this plan at all. He does not want to act the fool. Declared a snowball fight with Apex as he then prepared another ice ball. 6 minutes left. Oh yeah, 6 minutes left and 5 pages to go. 5 pages to go. Pandora then waved her arms back and forth and started singing really loudly with her trick. We're no strangers to love, you know the rules. Say goodbye, blah 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 blah. Pandora opened the Rickroll song. It was loud enough for which Briony, who was staring through the window, to hear. The twitch of her right eye. Is that never going to give you up being sang by Pandora? She asked, annoyed and flabbergasted at what she was hearing right now. She teleported down to where the fighting had been taking place. Drada powered up by her one-winged form. Everyone on cue, she ordered, everyone rallying them to coordinate against Witch Briony. Void threw a massive bookshelf at Witch Briony, causing her to get angry. Claire ran up some ice stairs Tim created, kicking her in the face, then doing a front flip over her to phase right through the ground. Void pulled sand out of his pocket. Pocket sands! He yelled as he threw sand in her eyes. Ah! My beautiful red witch eyes! How dare you! She screamed in pain as the sand stung her eyes. Drada kicked Witch Briony in the ribs. Tim came down, freezing her feet to the ground and freezing her mouth shut so she couldn't cast any spells. Leo came in, getting her into a chokehold, while the other heroes kept her pinned, as good as they can pin her down. Lanny used strong gusts of wind to try and further push Witch Briony on the ground. Claire walked in front of Witch Briony, who was being pinned at all different angles. I'm sorry I have to do this, Briony, but this is for the greater good. No, what are you doing? I don't like the way this is going. That's Leo's only appearance. Well, I appreciate him not being completely ignored, like Midnight. I assume Midnight is there. He's just not there. And that's okay, because I forget about him too. I'm sorry to have to do this, Briony, but it's for the greater good, Claire said. She then became transparent and walked right through the gusts and jumping into Witch Briony, who broke free from everyone, keeping her in one area. Everyone was blown back by Witch Briony, who was now grabbing her eyes in pain and screaming, No, get out! What are you doing? Her name... No, get out of my body! I am Briony, stop it! Her name is Nulak! It is my name. Yes. Wait, no! I was supposed to win! How dare you! Witch Briony, now with phantom blue eyes and her usual red eyes, said in two voices, as she was wrestling with herself. Void finally decided to do it.
finish her off. Nulak, I banish... You better not say it. You better not say it. He was cut off by a piercing metal shooting through his back. You won't be defeating Master that easily. A cold, psychopathic voice said to him as he turned to see Undertaker stab him in the back. Yes, Undertaker, you go, girl. You beat Void's ass. Claire shot out of Nulak and then flew into the void. How dare you try banish me! You're going to have a really bad time with me now. She declared, angrier than she'd ever been. She created a neon red energy sword from thin air. I'll give you a bad Tom, he responded with tenacity. He reformed his own neon blue sword, and they swung at each other, with neither backing down. Void had a glowing gold aura, while his demon form, the neon sword duel was intense, but equal, neither having the advantage over the other. Void did a cheap swipe at Witch Briony's hat, making it fall off. Sorry, dark magician girl. No hats in this library. Bitch, how dare you! He made a witty quip at her, knocking off her hat. Too bad I'm the Exodia of this jewel, Void. She responded, creating a wooden staff she used to smash Void's neon blade to nothing. Oh shit, my saber blade! He cried because of his blade getting destroyed. Now become a marketable plushie! She yelled as the staff lit up in rainbow of colors and hit him in the face. No! Ah! Just kidding. He screamed, getting melodramatic, only for him to realize her magic didn't work anymore. Huh? I thought this body was able to dish out enough magic to turn you into a marketable plush toy. She cried and panicked, even more, knowing why her magic didn't affect him anymore. Meanwhile, I will never going to give you up. I will never let you down. There is a short of that already. I have done it before. Chameleon, in the form of Witch Briony, stepped out of a portal they had created themselves, slipping into the Forbidden Library mentioned way back in part 1 of the story. Now, notes. Find tea fairies, figure out name, convince them that I am them. Sounds easy enough. Chameleon said to himself, making himself confident. Oh, there you are, Nulak. Would you like some tea? A squeaky kind voice asked him. It was a short four-winged lady in a maid outfit with a tea kettle. Nah, I don't want tea. In fact, I like coffee more, Chameleon stated, as he used telekinesis, copied from Witch Briony, to lift the tea kettle and throw it into a nearby bookshelf, knocking over some books. Nulak! Why would you do that? Library Guardian is going to be so angry with you. The tea fairy asked, shocked. Would framing me actually work? No, the library guardian is much smarter than that. He would not be fooled by such things. He is rather terrifying, you know. I believe Briony got off rather lightly. The library guardian is going to be angry with you. The tea fairy asked, shocked that this Nulak would do such a thing. Nulak, you've been a guest in this library for millennia. I'll give you one chance to leave the library, or you will read 1,000,000 books. Now choose whether you want to go home or be a prisoner like Briony. A celestial being with 2 neon blue rings hovering over its back shouted at Chameleon like thunder through the entire dimension. Fuck you! I want to live you living tribunal wannabe. I ain't afraid of no deity. Chameleon mocked, disrespecting the library guardian. I see you have chosen 1 billion books! Seeking that shot. Oh, it's in there. It was actually from a Star Rail video that I did, yes. "1 billion books," the library guardian said, looking down at Chameleon. He jumped up to try and punch the library guardian with what could be the last meme they made alive. "I'm down bad. And that's up good. I will never be up good. There's nobody you can tell me rather than me." He made his final words a Wreck-It Ralph mean, while looking at a luggage showing a picture of Nulak and Moon Girl kissing. Before Chameleon was able to even touch the library guardian, he seemed to have disappeared on his own. Epilogue. Oh yeah, new look, about your magic not working. Remember when this lair was grounded and it looked more like an evil lair, not a library? Well, I managed to find this diamond in the storeroom you flung me and Claire into. It was able to not only immune to your magic, but it was also able to absorb it. It was quite a headache trying to get Trish on board to agree to my plan, but she allowed Chameleon to eat the diamond with your magic in it, just so he can go to the Forbidden Library and frame you for pissing off the library guardian. Seems I was able to shine bright like a diamond in the end, despite being turned into a demon prince, as you called me. Void explained to Nulak, as she now had no magic she could use on Void anymore. Now you don't have anyone to turn you back into a human, you idiot! I won't banish myself while reading, don't you worry. Well, from the top. From Briony's body! He chanted the banishment as he used the mirror from many chapters before to seal her within the mirror by getting her in the head with it, causing her witch outfit to disappear and turn into normal sweater Briony wearing glasses again. I suppose for dramatic effect, I can let her out for a moment. Let's not do the horns for this, shall we? Oh, where did it go? Oh no! Oh no! Oh, we do dramatic effect and then I lose exactly where I am. I'm back! I'm finally back to being me again, she said, so relieved that she can finally not be an apparition in Void's sight, or any reflections in any puddles anymore. Hey, so... That's true! We can do that for Void! Hey, so if Nulak's magic is gone, what's keeping this library in the air? As Void asked this, the library began falling out of the sky, with most heroes escaping, except Briony, who was very, very tired and exhausted. Please. I can't run for very long. I can't normally anyway, so... she said, already out of breath as she started running. It seems Nulak drained your body's stamina fighting me. Void suggested that Nulak could have been overexerting Briony's body. The library doorway was caved in as Briony tried catching her breath. Oh no! she cried out, losing any hope of escaping. I hope she doesn't escape. Let them stay in there and all get crashed. You may have defeated me, but let you be destroyed by my library. Where did they go? Yeah, she cried out, losing any hope of escaping. But then a ghostly hand grabbed both of them and turned them transparent. Hey, I missed the part where this ends horribly for you, Claire declared as she sent both of them through the cave door in the falling library. They were airborne now, and they were free-falling until they landed on a dragon, where Trader was also sitting. Did you think... This is also a slight spoiler, I suppose. Did you think that me and my dragon were going to forget you? Yes, the dragon is a thing. Hello again, welcome. Yes, that would make sense. I mean, it is just a mortal body after all, and I was using a lot of magic. It would tire her out, that is for sure. The hero shouldn't forget to save people, he answered. They landed safely on the ground in front of headquarters, where a chameleon, still transformed into Nulak, fell on the ground face first, getting up all dizzy. Whoa, did I save the Omniverse? He asked, his head spinning. Back to normal. Now, one thing is certain. How do we get back to the Forbidden Library? Void asked Briony, unsure of how to cross back into the Forbidden Library. Oh, that, she replied, snapping her fingers and opening a portal to another dimension. Wait, how did she do that? She replied. Claire came outside to see Void. Wait, Briony, I've got to say something to her. What do you want to say to me, Claire? What do you want to say to her, Claire? He told her to wait a little bit, then give Claire a hug. Hey, Claire, thank you for being there for me. You will be missed. This is worse than my haunt puns whenever I say where she is. By everyone here, I hope you come back one day to fight crime with us, okay, Divine Eclipse? Don't let anyone like Nulak eclipse you again. She sent Void off after hugging him back, with Trish walking beside her. They grow up so fast. Claire states as if Void was one of her own sons, as he followed Briony through the portal. I don't think he was able to get enough of you. He'll be back, Trish replies, reassuring her. The Forbidden Library. Hey, Briony, I want to have a method of going in and out of the Moongo world whenever I feel like it. Void requesting, asking Briony to give him a way of going back to meet his new friends. Hey, I think it's all right. Just let me rest for a bit. She answered, then plopping on the couch, immediately going to sleep. That sounds about right. Void took a good look in the mirror to see Nulak in the mirror looking pouty. Wait a minute. I hate you. Demolition report! A huge-ass library fell to the ground in Iwon City, causing major damage to buildings, streets, and caused many deaths, costing the city lots of money in repairs. Undertaker and Apex have been spotted and arrested. And some tech guy, forced to work with them, was given therapy to deal with his trauma. The end! Oh, what a wonderful story! Obviously, it's so wonderful that I lost! Why would you knew I was going to read this. Why would you do this? You requested that I read my own demise. You have a lot of nerve. A lot
of nerve. Well, if I blew out your speakers, Boris, then that is Void's fault. 'Cause I said you have a lot of nerve. And I don't think you should be around anymore. I'm sorry she stabbed you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nulak would definitely prefer an alternative ending. I, however, love this so much. So much. It was wonderful, Void. Thank you so much for that gift. That was your bad ending specifically, though. Oh, that was so good. Yeah, you're all dead now. I'm sorry. I'll try to bring you back. I'm sure there's some res magic somewhere around here. What have I got that's res magic? Would you wake up for a rickroll? What if I sing a song? Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and hurt you. The famed res magic that is singy, singy, singy. Yeah, she just stabbed you guys and ran away. Yeah, knifey wifey. Nulak got, at least in the story, Nulak got trapped in a thing. As of right now, she got a bit pissy that she lost in the story. She was really hoping to win, you see. But obviously she wasn't going to, and no matter how much I told her that wasn't going to be a thing, and it's, you know, like, Void's the good guy in this, and it's not enemies to lovers and everything, she didn't believe me. She didn't believe me. So she got salty and left. Sorry, guys. She will be back for the streams we have discussed, but she's not happy with that. However, I really am. Honestly, reading someone else write my characters has been so much fun. Their characterizations have been really good. It's so good. It's so good. Well done. Thank you, Void. Thank you so much. It has, your interest in Moon Girl has really sort of reignited my passion and my eagerness to move on with it and get it moving, get it out there, which is one of the reasons why Moon 5 will be out soonish. Probably, I'm looking next month, hopefully, to have Moon 5 out. I just need to get some formatting and crap done. And then pick a date. Make it up to on Valentine's Day. What Valentine's Day gift would Nulak like? Yeah, I think she'd like her own body, potentially. Because then she doesn't have to steal mine all the time. I don't know. I honestly don't know what Nulak would like. If I get any ideas, I'll let you know. Since we got until February to figure it out if you're going for Valentine's Day gifts for her. That went on a wee longer than I expected, but that's okay. Oh, I forgot. You have a thing at the end. It's me, Voidy Void again. I hope you enjoyed part 2 of my Briony / Moon Girl fanfiction. In part 1, I didn't give Claire any spotlight, so in part 2, I decided to make her key to the plot. If you enjoyed this, I might make Briony / Umineko crossover a sequel to this when and if she does start reading it. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye Briony's merch. Toodles! I do plan to have the merch out soon. I will have that out probably next week. I got to take some pictures of the Moon Girl merch I have sitting around. But the actual Briony merch, I just need to press the go button on that, basically. And make a nice advert, obviously, of, hey, look, there's merch. I have a pillow and a t-shirt and a notebook. So, yeah. She knows she's loved, really. She does. She really appreciates you guys. A bit too much, really. That's kind of why she wants to stream a lot. She loves the attention. Could be very baddie. She would suit a very baddie. Baddie. Be the dummy mommy that she acts like. But anyway, we've got on for quite a while now. You got a lot of extra me this Sunday, aren't you guys lucky? Yeah, don't worry about rushing on that. Like I said, I don't even know when I'll even get to Umineko. Like I said, I plan to get to the end of the chapter of Higurashi that I got to, and that I'm on, and then we're probably going to give it a break and maybe go back to it later. What do I think of the OC? I think he's fun! He's a fun addition. I think he maybe pushes the boundary a little too much, because this is a job. This is a salaried job that he's doing, and he does need to, respect his bosses a little bit more. But other than that, he's really fun. I like him. I like a bit of a goofball. Probably gets along with the Wilders very well, I imagine. Oh, no. I think that's all we got for you. So, thank you everyone for coming. This has been really fun. Thank you to anyone who lurked, and thank you to anyone who watches the VOD. If you have not already, you should go click all the things on the pinned chat there. That's my Discord. There's also my Patreon and my Kofi that you can support. Thank you so much, Void, for this lovely piece of literature. This will be my 900th. It's going to take me to 9,940, that's for sure. Because that was quite a chunky little fanfic there. It was lovely. You should be really proud of yourself for getting to start to finish on that as well. It was really good. I hope you continue your writing journey. But yes. I'll bring her back to say goodbye. She deserves to say goodbye after all that, even if she is a bit salty right now. New luck! New luck! Can I just sit here and stab you instead? That would be much more fun, but I suppose. Thank you everyone for coming. Goodbye now. Have a wonderful evening. Blah, 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 blah. Stabbing time. Goodbye. I hope you didn't need any of this blood or internal organs. Goodbye.